Morning everyone, and welcome to your lesson on traditional tales. Now, traditional tales. What is a traditional tale? A traditional tale is a story that's been told over and over again by lots and lots of people. I bet your parents have told you lots of stories, and their parents told them lots of stories. A traditional tale is a story that we know really well because it's been told many, many times. Now, there's some key features to a traditional tale. I wonder if you can think of any of the key features that appear in a traditional tale. What I'd like you to do is pause the video here and have a go on your worksheet, jotting some ideas down. Then we're going to come back together and I'm going to share my ideas with you too. So pause the video now and have a go at jotting down some ideas of the key features of traditional tales. Welcome back. How did you get on with that? I bet you've got lots of different features. I wonder if we have the same. So remember, a traditional tale is a story that's been told over and over again for many, many years. Now, some of the key features of a traditional tale. Often, traditional tales features animals talking. So when we think about the Three Little Pigs, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf, in traditional tales, often we get animals that can talk, and that's one of the key features. Also, the characters can be mythical, so characters such as giants, as in Jack and the Beanstalk, witches in Hansel and Gretel, and fairies as well that come and help each other. We have witches and we have giants. Now also, characters might have descriptive names. So when we think about the Big Bad Wolf or Little Red Riding Hood, they tell us something about that character, something that's very specific to that character, so we can identify them. Also, the settings. Now, a setting is where the story takes place. And often the settings can be in the countryside or in a forest. So a lot of our traditional tales can be set in the countryside or a forest. When we think about the Gingerbread Man, that's set in the countryside, isn't it? And when we think about Little Red Riding Hood, that's set in a forest. But also they can contain enchanted castles, which mean magical castles, or magical cottages. So, for example, an enchanted cottage in an enchanted castle in Jack and the Beanstalk, or a magical cottage in Hansel and Gretel. There's our magical forest and our magical cottage. Also, in traditional tales, they often have phrases that repeat, such as "I'll huff and I'll puff." I wonder what story that's from. That's right, that's from the Three Little Pigs. And for example, in Goldilocks and the Three Bears, "Who's been sitting on my chair? Who's been sitting on my chair? Who's been sitting on my chair and they've broken it?" From Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Often the traditional tales will have that repeating phrase going throughout the story. And this is something I want you to look out for today. So I want you to have a look at that now. Did it match with what you have on your list? It did. That's fantastic. If it didn't, I want you to note some of those things down now to help you remember. So pause the video here and note some of those things down now. Welcome back. Let's move on. Okay, today we are going to become book detectives. That means you are going to be looking in the book for lots of clues. We're going to be finding out all about a story today, but we need to look very carefully through the book to find those clues. This is our story today, and this is our front cover of our story. We have our title here, and our title today is Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk. Have you ever read this story before? You have? Brilliant. So, do we think that Jack could be the main character? He possibly could be. And a beanstalk. Now, if I have a look at that picture there, that doesn't look like a normal beanstalk. That looks a little bit like a magical beanstalk, doesn't it? Excellent, it does. Now, I wonder who this person is here. He's definitely a character from our story. Do you think that possibly could be Jack? I think it could be too. So we have the beanstalk and we have Jack, possibly our main character there on the front. I wonder why though he's climbing that beanstalk. Where is he going? Looks like he's heading into the clouds. I wonder what could be up there. Now, if I flip the book over, we have the back. Now, on the back, we often find some writing, and this writing is called the blurb. And the blurb tells us a little bit about the story. It gives us some information about it. I'm going to read the blurb to you now. Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack's mother is cross when he sells their cow for magic beans. But then a beanstalk grows in the garden and Jack climbs to the top. That's what he was doing. So the beanstalk has come from some magic beans. Well, I wonder where he got those from. If I have a look to the other side of the back of the book, there's some characters there, isn't there? I can see a cow and I can see a boy. That looks like that boy that was from the front. That must be Jack. And I can see a man and he's got something in his hand. Well, if I go back to the blurb, it tells me that Jack's mother was cross when he sells the cow, which he's holding there, for some magic beans. I wonder if that man is going to be holding those magic beans. Should we find out? Let's go. Okay, we're going to read the story now, year one. Okay. Jack and the Beanstalk by Abigail Flint. Once upon a time, a poor boy called Jack lived with his mother. They were so poor, all they had was one cow. Now, if I have a look at this, the picture of Jack, yeah, they don't have a lot in their garden, do they? And their clothes are quite tatty. Jack is trying to fix the fence there as well. I wonder why, though, they want to sell the cow. I wonder if that's all they've got left at home and they don't have anything else. One day Jack's mother said, "You must go to market to sell the cow." Oh, they don't look very happy about that, do they? I don't think the cow's very happy about that either. They must not have any money though, so they have to sell the cow to get some food. I wonder what will happen next. Should we find out? But on the way to the market, a man stopped Jack. That was the man from that back page. Will you sell your cow for these magic beans?" he asked. And Jack agreed. Oh my goodness. I wonder what Jack's mother is going to say. If I remember, on the blurb it said that Jack's mother was very cross. Oh dear, I hope he's not going to get into trouble. Let's find out. Jack's mother was very cross. "Oh, we need gold, not magic beans," she shouted. And so she threw the beans out of the window. Ooh. I wonder what's going to happen next. Pause the video here and have a chat with somebody in the room about what you think is going to happen next. Did you talk about it? I wonder if you're going to be right. I think Jack's mum has thrown those beans out of the window. It could be that the magic beanstalk might grow. Did you think that too? Let's find out. That night, as Jack slept, a huge beanstalk grew. And in the morning, Jack climbed up and up and up the beanstalk. And at the top, there was a giant's castle. Can you remember when we talked about the features of a traditional tale? And sometimes they might have an enchanted castle. I wonder if this is an enchanted castle, an enchanted magical castle. And one of the characters is a mythical character that we said often features in a traditional tale. There's a giant at the top. Right, so Jack climbed up that beanstalk. And he crept inside. Do you think that was a good idea to do that or not a good idea? What do you think? Ooh, I'm not sure. I think it was not a good idea because he doesn't know what's in there. What do you think might be in the castle? Should we find out and see? In the kitchen, he saw a sack of gold. We need that gold, thought Jack. As Jack picked up the sack, he heard footsteps. A giant was coming. Fee, fi, fo, fum, roared the giant. I can smell an Englishman. Jack, shook with fear. What do you think he should do, Year One? Do you think he should stay or do you think he should run away? What do you think? You think he should stay? Should we find out what happens next? Jack hid under the table. The giant sat next to a golden hen. The hen laid golden eggs. 1, 2, 3, 100 eggs. That would make Mother happy, thought Jack. So Jack is very poor and he can see lots of gold and lots of golden eggs. And his mother said that she wanted gold. It really would make her happy. Now, do you think Jack will be able to take some of those golden eggs or not? Shall we find out what happens next? Next, the giant took out a singing harp. The harp sang until the giant fell asleep. Jack crept from under the table. He picked up the hen, but the harp called out, "Master, master!" And the giant woke up. Fee, fi, fo, fum, I can see an Englishman, he roared. That's that repeated phrase from before, isn't it? This must be the repeated phrase throughout this story. Should we do that one together again? Fee, fi, fo, fum, I can see an Englishman. That was brilliant. Well done. What is going to happen to Jack? Will he get out? Will the giant catch him? Pause the video here and have a chat with the person in the room. What did you decide? Will he get away? Shall we see? Jack ran out of the castle and back down the beanstalk. The giant was coming. Thud, 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 thud. Get the axe! Shouted Jack. So his mother ran to get the axe. Jack chopped and chopped until the beanstalk snapped in two and the giant was trapped in the clouds. And Jack and his mother and the golden hen lived happily ever after. Let's have a look at the picture of Jack and his mum now. Do you think they're poor anymore? They're not, are they? Now, another feature of a traditional tale is sometimes the ending. Often in traditional tales, everybody always lives happily ever after. And Jack and his mother are definitely living happily now, aren't they?